Terence Bud Crawford or Errol Spence Jr.? Who is the best welterweight on the planet? Now, I'm not dismissing Manny Pacquiao, Philippine legend, 40 years of age now. I think what he did against Keith Thurman shows us that it is silly to count him out. But nonetheless, if you ask most people who's the best 147-pound fighter on the planet, you're probably either going to get Crawford or Spence as your answer. Now, a fight between those guys has made all the sense in the world for the last couple of years. It's one of boxing's genuine mega fights. It's arguably boxing's best fight in terms of just pure prime quality, but it is a fight that we may never see. Errol Spence is probably going to be fighting Danny Garcia next, which isn't bad. It's not filler, but we didn't ask for it. And Terence Crawford does not have his next fight lined up. Who is the best fighter then out of these two guys who may never face each other? That is the question. I think most people agree that Terence Crawford probably looks a bit better. He has some of those special effects, as Mayweather would say. He moves well. He probably picks higher quality counter shots than Spence does. And similar to Mayweather, he's got that great vision, that ability to just map out each round, slow down the pace and always be just a little bit ahead without really taking too much punishment at all. He's also got a bit of spite to him, and his punch, despite coming up from lightweight, is still pretty good at 147, which is good to see. One thing you could say, though, against Crawford, and perhaps one of the reasons why he looks a bit flashier and a bit slicker, a bit of a finer boxer than Spence at this weight, is because he hasn't fought as good at opposition at 147. How would he have done against the Kell Brook, who Spence fought? Yes, he was a bit bashed up post-Golovkin, but still, that was a very physically imposing, strong welterweight, very accurate pinpoint puncher. And we have seen Crawford hurt before against Gamboa. Sean Porter, I think a lot of people are calling now. They'd love to see Porter against Crawford because he just seems to give everyone a gut check. He always pushes people close. In all his 3 losses, he's pushed them close. And I think he would show us a lot. He would really probably show us how good Crawford is. Spence, while perhaps not looking as slick though, you could say there's a bit more worth there. He has systematically broken down his opponents. He has shown that he can get down and dirty. He doesn't have to be fully in control all the time, but he will gut it out. He will dig to the body. And is kind of more, I guess you could say, on the surface, more basic looking boxing. It does not take away from its effectiveness. Of course, he broke the other eye socket of Kell Brook. And he just did a pretty good performance against Porter. I don't think there's an argument that Porter won that fight. I thought Spence looked pretty darn good. So, this great fight in boxing that very well may be the best one to be made could be slipping through our fingers. Terence Crawford is already 32. He may be getting past his best in the next couple of years. It's just one of those real pain in the ass situations. It's just a question, is this going to be like a Kovalev-Stevenson fight where it never happens? Or is this going to be a situation of Mayweather-Pacquiao where it happens where they're both too old? Either way, I'm talking about right now, for resume, at this weight at least, I give it to Spence. But if they were to fight right now, head to head, who do you think is the best welterweight on the planet?